Hey, welcome back everybody to the Dose Adjustment Podcast.
Working my ass off.
We are talking about self-care, right? We have a certain mindset that we approach everything in life. We have certain financial goals or business development goals. We have certain relationship goals.
I'm now at a point in my life where I do feel that.
The information provided in this podcast is for educational and informational purposes only, and it does not establish a physician-patient or pharmacist-patient relationship. The opinions expressed by the hosts and guests are their own and do not constitute medical advice. This content is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any medical condition. Always consult with a licensed healthcare provider in your area before making any changes to your personal healthcare regimen or acting on any medical information shared in this podcast.
Hey, welcome back everybody to the Dose Adjustment Podcast. Today we are talking about self-care, specifically for men and humans in general. My name is Amir, one of your co-hosts. Today I got Kris with me again. Kris, what the heck have you been up to?
Working my ass off. It's been busy. It's been busy. I would say I'm behind about 200 notes at the moment, so I got some paperwork to do.
Right on. So I recently learned that you've got a country music contract.
Oh yes,
You want to tell me about it?
Yeah.
So what was that about?
No, I got to work with a nonprofit called Creative Vets. Super cool nonprofit. Had met some of their people through some of the Operation Field Trip work that we do, and to be a mentor and behavioral health advocate. So it is musicians and songwriters that are out of Nashville, various some of them are really have a lot of number one hits and stuff like that. And this is kind of what they do. And they get with veterans and these songwriters, and they actually take your story of whatever trauma, however, basically whatever story you want to tell them, and they write a song about it. You do it. Yeah, they do it in a song, and it was an incredible experience. It was very much a bucket list thing for me. It happened really quick because of the stuff that I want to do with their organization, with helping other veterans and healing trauma and the different things. But yeah, it was absolutely incredible. So
what was the name of that organization again?
Creative Vets. So
Creative
we'll definitely have him on here and do some other stuff with it, and like kind of a leader into it. And we'll put the song up on there when I get the final copy. But it was absolutely incredible experience. Very cathartic.
Yeah.
Definitely incredible to watch talented people do their thing, because I've tried to teach myself a guitar. It's not a thing for me, and to watch people just pick it up, it's like when I touch it, it doesn't do that. Like, it does not even come close. It's like plink, 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 and this, it's like unbelievable. So it's that whole other level of talent, and I have personal fascination with anybody that's an expert at whatever they do.
Yep.
Like, I'm just like, expertise amazes me. So yeah,
very cool. And you mentioned Operation Field Trip. Remind us again what you're doing there.
So Operation Field Trip is a partnership with Combat Vets to Careers and the Take a Knee Foundation, and we are providing ketamine treatment and behavioral health talk therapy to veterans and first responders and their families that need it.
Okay, perfect. That's primarily based out of Florida, or is it a nationwide thing you're doing?
Based out of Florida right now, just because of the medical licensure requirements and those different things. But
Yeah, super cool. All right, well, let's get into the episode today. We are talking about self-care, specifically self-care for men, but I think these are general principles that could apply to anybody. First and foremost, we hear so often we get on the airplane, right? Put on your own oxygen mask first.
Absolutely.
And then help somebody beside you. And I think for a lot of people, when it comes to life, we get so focused on helping those, those in need, whether it be those in our business or supporting our families financially. I know it's a big thing for me and for men in general. That's our primary role that we feel like.
Yep.
And we do that to such the nth degree at a detriment to the rest of our health, right? Which ultimately ends up being a detriment to our family in so many other ways, even if it's just your inability to go out and spend time with your kids, play with your kids, exercise with your kids, or if it's the standard that you're setting from a fitness perspective, for your family and for your kids that are watching you and seeing you. So self-care is a really important topic. And, the way I generally talk through it is creating a framework and a plan, right? Which sounds a little, what's the word? A little dorky, right? If you will, like, I'll make a self-care plan today, so I can feel better. But I think the idea is, you know, as men, you know, we should have certain things that we're shooting for, right? We have a certain mindset that we approach everything in life. We have certain financial goals or business development goals. We have certain relationship goals. We have certain spiritual goals, right? That we want to go after. This is the man that we want to become. And hopefully, you know, we've taken the time to do that work, understand where we're going. But you need a platform or a drive, or how are we going to actually achieve this, right?
Absolutely. Because I mean, with anything you do, like you have to have success matrix.
Yep.
You know, like what is success? I mean, if you anything sales, all right, or podcast viewers or what there's a success matrix to self-development too.
Yep.
In the sense of like what is that for you? Like, and one of the big things that I don't know, it's knowing yourself, knowing where you're weak, and not just accepting it, you know, saying, okay, well, can I improve it?
Mm-hmm.
Or if it is a weakness that I cannot improve on, what can I do to compensate for it?
Yeah.
Right.
Yep. 100%. So the way that I kind of break it down for patients, and we've got some free tools available, and we'll tell you where you can get those from. Essentially, we're dropping it into 4 buckets. So when it comes to self-care, movement and exercise, sleep and rest, nutrition and fuel, and stress reduction and fun. And there's so many other podcasts where we've actually touched on each of these.
Yeah.
But today we want to talk more about how do you actually create a plan and a framework. What are you going to do daily? What are you going to do weekly? What do you need to do monthly? And how do you actually fit it into your extremely busy schedule? You know, we're talking a moment ago, you're 200 notes behind. You took 7 calls, you know, in between podcasts. You were up early this morning. You're going to be up late tonight doing business deals. I'm the same exact way. But in spite of all that, how do we still find the time to work it in?
So for me, it's scheduling. Like I try to, and I've had a lot of like big changes like on the way that I run my schedule. I was in the last almost 2 years, 18, 19 months now. And it is, so for me, like we're just, okay, start something like exercise, right? Exercise for my entire military career, it's a big part of my life. Is just it's a required element of the job. These are the standards. This is what you must do to stay here and do this job. You know, whatever that is, right? So that was a forcing function. Well, it kind of is. As I get older and my job in the military kind of changes and recovering from injuries. I mean, it's still important, but it's like, okay, how do you pull that into your day-to-day life? And like, so I've had to make that like that is a structured time. It's like, okay, well, I do all this, so now this has to be this early in the morning, or it's not going to happen.
Yep.
Right? So that's one. And then it's kind of it's a plan. And like the sheet here is going, everything, if you have a plan, you can deviate from the plan. But if you don't have a plan, there's nothing to deviate from. It's just throwing shit at the wall and seeing what sticks.
Build a plan.
Plan to fail. Exactly. Right? Okay. You know, and I very much subscribe to the adage that like no plan survives first contact with the enemy. So what does that mean? Like as soon any life gets a vote, you know, so that you have a plan, it may change. You may, okay, I missed it this day. What can I do to make up for that? But that's what it is, right? So it is discipline. And we kind of confuse that with like, well, if I'm doing this for myself, then it's selfish. It's not. You have to look at this as a tool to goal achievement.
Yeah.
Right? Like guys would do, you know, we talk about health all the time, but there's guys that are 200 pounds overweight, but they will damn sure get their tires rotated every 30 or whatever. They'll get their oil changed every 3,000 miles. You know, like, like they're like, but you got to make sure. I was like, bro, look in the mirror. You got to do that shit for yourself too.
Yeah. Yeah. And so, like you said, you know, self-care is not selfish. Do you see any world outside of extreme injury or cardiac condition where in a self-care plan for a man, they are not exercising? Any sort of exercise at minimum, right? But also a weightlifting component?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, you take the freaking cardiac condition, extreme injury stuff, and I'll even call bullshit on that. Like, I got friends that don't have legs that can outrun me. So, like, you know, like, it's yeah. Do you need to scale it to what you're capable of doing? Absolutely, but there is no reason that you can do that. I don't care if you're dying of cancer.
Yeah,
like your quality of life will be better if you do some form of movement.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and so, when I think when it comes to movement exercise, if I would look at my plan, it would say that I'm going to do some sort of walking or rucking on each and every day. It will also have some component of weightlifting. Now, I've not been going to a traditional gym. I've got a garage gym. I do about 4 things in it, right? I do pull-ups, I do dips, I do push-ups in my bedroom, and I've got a set of dumbbells in my bedroom. So I try to do dumbbell work every night. It's not a lot of weight, they're 40 pounds each, but you can actually
Yeah,
you can work yourself over pretty good watching television.
crush
like
yourself.
TV.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
So exercise and movement, no matter what we do in life, I think as men, if we're going to be successful, there is going to be a movement component there. Now, for most of us, we want to be successful in the business world, right? Or, even if you're working for a corporation. I haven't found a scenario yet where if they're a decent human, right, the better shape they're in, the better they do, right?
Yeah.
It draws people to them like a magnet. They want to do what they do. They think you have some level of self-discipline, which, and as an employer, I would correlate to that. I think you're going to do a better job for me. This guy is obviously disciplined to get up and do the work every morning for the last 30 years. I think I'm going to take you for the promotion, right?
We can say all we want to say about being out of shape is not a fucking identity.
Yeah.
Like that's it's not. Like I understand obesity and genetics and their struggles to it, and everybody is not created equal, right? You're not going to have everybody is not a Division I athlete.
Yeah.
Like that's absolutely true. But there is people say all they want, like you can. That's just not how it works. Like everybody has biases towards whatever, and discipline is you can show physical discipline. I mean, it is a tenet of the military and good order and discipline. It absolutely is. Like, okay, what is the minimum standard? Wake up early, make your fucking bed, do some push-ups, go for a run, eat breakfast.
Pretty simple.
Pretty simple shit. Get your hair cut, stand in line, do what you're told. Basically, it's not really that different than first grade.
Yep.
Just do it. But yeah, absolutely. And I think but you have to make that in the self-care setting. What do you enjoy?
Yeah.
What can you do? And then can you make it repeatable?
Yeah.
Do it in a way that makes it repeatable. Like, so that you can, let's say you got to do something 10,000 times to make it a habit, right? So do it.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. Make it easy, make it repeatable. Like I said, that's why I have dumbbells in my bedroom. Because guess what? I go to my bedroom every single night. On a lot of nights, we'll turn the TV on. I can care less about what's actually on the television. But, my wife is there. My kids are in bed. I don't have my phone out. You're just getting some reps in, so make it easy. So moving to exercise and any self-care plan is going to be a must. It's going to look different for everybody. It may be a gym membership. It may be, just doing a ton of rucking, walking, push-ups.
And
but it's going to be something that's physically challenging most days of the week.
And that's fair. Yeah. And that kind of goes back into like what's good for you. I mean, there's times like the gym is a social platform. It lets people be out and about. The exercise can be that. Or it's my quiet time and nobody's talking to me. Or, like in my case, it went like I was very extroverted, but now working out has become, I interact with so many people so much today that I'm like, okay, I'm going to go do this shit by myself. Like I don't want to talk to a person.
Yeah,
like
my headphones on
and
I'm
leave me.
indicating to everybody I don't want to talk to you.
Leave
either.
me alone, like to the point where I even bought the big headphones.
Yep.
So I don't want the
they can see
earbuds
it.
so they can see that I have them on.
Absolutely. All right. So moving to exercise, I think we hit that pretty good. The idea is to have a plan, to stick to it. Your future health depends on it. Your kids are watching you, right? And I heard this the other day. Like, if your kids were instantly your age and had your body in health, would you be satisfied? With that, and that hit me really hard because like I've made tremendous progress and I continue to progress every day. But for so many people out there, I look at the parents. They can barely move. They're waddling themselves out of the seat. They've got rampant diabetes. And their kids are headed for that same place. If you look at the progression, and maybe the data's wrong, and you correct me, but you're going to turn out to be your parents in a lot of ways, right? Especially from a health perspective.
Absolutely.
You ate what they ate. You got your habits from your parents, what they allowed you to eat. You're typically going to become them in most senses.
All of those things, absolutely. And that goes back to there's a whole sociology dynamic to unpack there, and all kinds of different things. But yeah, I mean, if you're setting an example and it's a shitty example, that's what your kids are gonna do.
Yeah. And I think it translates to a lot more than just health and wellness,
Yeah.
right? So if I grow up overweight with a confidence issue, right? Struggling relationships with the opposite sex too, right? Because I'm overweight and unhealthy and I'm not a sexy looking individual, let's say. That's going to affect me in everything that I do. My confidence to go to college, my confidence to go out and build a career, my confidence to do that. And so I think it has not only a health impact, it has a tremendous financial impact, et cetera. So I think it's a really big deal for men to focus on.
Yeah.
Cool. Sleep and rest. If you've been watching the dose adjustment, we have nailed this thing to death. But sleep is critical. 7 to 8 hours every single evening. Cool bedroom, dark as can possibly be. If you need additional supplementation to help you sleep and get a good night's rest, of course, do that. But you'll have this group of guys out there, especially when they're in their 20s, saying, hey, I'll sleep when I'm dead. I'm grinding hard. I'm winning in my business. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. At some point, though,
That's going to catch up with you.
100%,
Like, so
right?
it does. And that's the wildest thing too. Cause like, I never would have thought of myself as like a try to lay down and go to sleep by 10 o'clock kind of person ever. But I'm pushing 50. So it's getting there. Right. But like the ability to push through has its place. I don't think that you should lose that. I think you should stay in enough shape that that's still a possibility for you, but not a lifestyle choice.
Yep, 100%. Rest and recovery. So, I think there's some other things that can really fit into this portion of the plan. And maybe this goes under stress reduction and not that, but we had Liz Stewart on the podcast, a massage therapist and a neuroscience educator, is that the correct title?
Yeah.
And so, just going from time to time to get a massage or even a weekly or a monthly massage could be something that could be very renewing, I think, for men as well.
Absolutely. I mean, you're kind of looking at, okay, so like what does that mean? Like intentional rest, right? Not just collapsing, sitting down, vegging out in front of the TV. But like, okay, like, I'm reading a book, I'm meditating, I'm going for a walk. Like is it still physical? Yeah, but is it restful? Is it down regulating hormones? Is it dropping cortisol levels? Is it, these different things? Like there's so much more involved in recovery than rest. So like working out relative to your age and fitness level so that you're pushing it, but not doing it in such a way that, well, I'm not going to work out for the next 10 days because I just did squats that I can't get rid of lactic acid. I've jacked up my knees, whatever, right?
Yeah. Another concept in rest, and I kind of heard this more, I'm not sure when this podcast will air, but, last week, Charlie Kirk, right? Assassination got hit. And so you're watching all these videos and everything that came up. And, one thing he was a big advocate for was, recognizing the Sabbath day, right? Which is a religious concept and something I've been around my entire life growing up and very, I'll say more times than not, like I don't have a day where I just completely kick back and rest. And so something that we've been doing over the past couple of weeks, and I'll tell you, we prepared for it. On Saturday, we got all of our, quote unquote house chores done. We did all the shopping. We got a lot of the food made. And I literally just had a day of rest with the family. I told the kids we're not playing on our tablets. We're not going to friend's house. We're not having friends over to our house. We're literally just going to hang out with the family and rest. So I got home from church. I took a nap. I didn't care how long I slept. However long it was probably 2 hours. We played a couple of interesting games as a family. We went for a walk. We just had nothing on our agenda for that one day a week. And the recovery was actually pretty amazing. Like I was, instead of dreading Monday, right? I don't really dread Mondays, but at 6 a.m. I kind of don't want to get out of bed either on a Monday morning. So anyways, that was really impactful for us. And I think something that we're going to add into our routine on a weekly basis. Just have a day where it's no work, it's kicking back, it's focusing on relationships and getting that rest in.
Right on.
Cool. Nutrition and fuel. So if you think about self-care, so we clearly understand what foods are somewhat beneficial for us and what foods are somewhat harmful to us, right? And the poison's within the dose, right? If anything, like we can have McDonald's once in a while, but From a self-care perspective, what should men be doing or thinking about on a daily basis if they want to be in the best shape of their life, right?
We think about, I mean, you really want the extreme version of it. Look at The Rock, his Instagram, like all the stuff he does. Like, obviously, this guy has got all the money in the world and is dialed into where this is his life, right? That physical image is his life, but he crushes it. Like, he breaks out his meals, he does this thing, and then he's like, "This is my cheat meal," like, and they're epic. Like, it's like, okay, I'm eating all of this, whatever it is,
chicken,
whatever
waffle,
it is, yeah, whatever it is, he's doing it,
yep.
and like all the things, and but everything else is dialed in, and it's exactly, and it is a plan. So, do you have the ability to do that? Yeah, I mean, so if you've listened to this at all, you've heard my spiel on nutrition. It's not hard. Calories times ideal body weight times 12 is calories per day. 50% of that calories should be protein, 30% fat, 20% carbs. You're golden, right? You'll feel great. Find that ratio in foods you like and make something that you're going to stick to. Like, for me, it's very much like, I'm going to eat this, this, and this. Like, I drink a lot of coffee. I have an absolute caffeine addiction. I mean, I probably drink a pot of coffee or more a day, and I put, what was that, high protein milk in it. It's in the blue jug, Fairlife or whatever.
Yep.
I use that, and that's my kind of go-to, just like crutch throughout the day, which is what it is. Because I'm just, for me, it's something that's replaced the idea of alcohol or wanting a beer. So I'll just sip on coffee, and just because it's a ritual almost. But then it's like, what do you eat? Cottage cheese, meat, fruit, berries. This is my day to day. And then, like, okay, special meal, I'm gonna do X, Y, Z. Do I stick to all that all the time? Is there days it gets away sideways? No. I definitely know if I go 2 or 3 days where I'm not eating well, I feel it.
Yep.
And I'm now at a point in my life where I do feel that. Like, when I was 25, it didn't matter. I was like, whatever, chicken wings and freaking Miller Lite, and let's go for a run.
Yep. Yeah, so I think the important thing that I hear there is, like, keep it simple. Stick to routine. This is what I'm going to eat. This is what I'm not going to eat on most days of the week, right? Yeah. And I think that there's a whole population, and I know there's a whole population because I get to talk to these folks every day at the store, where they want to achieve something. They want to have, elite physical fitness in their realm, right? Whatever that means for them. But then they're just taking life as it comes, right? Somebody will say, hey, we're ordering from wherever, instant restaurant, you want anything? And they're just like, yeah, I'm hungry. Yeah, I'll have some nachos. I'll have whatever, Jimmy John's or whatever it is. And they're making random decisions. They haven't decided ahead of time, like, this is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm going to stick to.
It's also an interesting thing is that, like, I don't think the best physical condition I've ever been in, and all the different times I've done whatever schools or whatever I've done in the military, you're always a little bit hungry.
Yeah.
Like, you're not satiated. And there's this, like, and then you're eating correctly. Like, it's just, there's this thing that's like, being a little bit hungry gives you an edge. Yeah. I'm not being starving because people get cranky and all the other shit. And they're like, I'm hangry. It's like, yeah, but some of that is just that food's a crutch and it's like your security blanket. Like, if being a little bit hungry is not bad for you.
So this is where I'm at in my weight loss cycle right now, right? So I've lost like 25 pounds this year, and I've been stuck at 230 for 8 weeks, 9 weeks maybe. I just don't move from this number. I'm still working out. I make what I think is really good food choices just from, like, hey, this is very high protein, there's no sugar in it, blah, 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 blah. I'm not losing weight. And so, like, I was doing, like, this assessment, like, where am I at? I said, well, I'm pretty strong, I'm carrying a lot of extra fat right now. And I said, I make good food choices, but I literally put on there, but Amir doesn't like to be hungry.
Yeah.
And that's literally it. So I'm eating healthy, good, whole food, but at the same time, it's like, I haven't made that commitment yet that I'm going to be hungry, right? I'm going to eat to my heart's content. And I do put up good guardrails. So, like, I make, on Sundays now, I'll make up 6 or 7 lunches. Super high protein, very intentional. When I'm already full, like, I'm making it. And I will go to work and I will eat whatever it is I brought that day.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not ambitious enough to, or dumb enough to pay $19, right, to have a chicken sandwich delivered to my office. So I've done really good there. But to your point about being a little bit hungry, I think when you want to make progress, there's going to be times you got to be hungry, and that's okay.
Improvement in anything that we do is found in suffering.
Yep.
Period.
And that's it. Like, I'm half committed, and I've had great success
in
in the beginning, half committing.
Yeah.
Right, but It's like, hey, I've just got to turn that on in my plan. Like, it's okay to be hungry, and I've got to turn that little, like, it's okay to suffer a little bit. If I'm gonna get to 205, which is where I want to go, like, I'm gonna have to suffer a little bit.
And that's the thing. Somebody was talking to me this week. They're like, you should do one thing that sucks every day. You know, I was like, I don't care if it's like walking out to your mailbox with no shoes on with gravel, like walking across, like you got to do something that sucks every day, right?
Yep. And I guess it's the idea of like these folks that cold plunge. Have you cold plunged before?
That's where I draw the line. So here, all cool and mitochondria and all that shit. So I remember leaving. So 2 times I left Afghanistan. I went to Afghanistan in the winter. All the times I was there, and I went to SEER school. I had a significant emotional event that involved like very cold water, and I swore to myself I would never be that cold again, and I am never, ever doing that shit.
All right. Find something else.
Yeah, we'll do something else that sucks, but it's not gonna be cold. Like I don't even want to go. Feel like you want to go skiing. I'm like, nah.
No, I'm good.
I don't even want to see snow. I don't even like Christmas movies.
I'm with you. You know, I think deep down you see some of these videos, these slow motions, these cold water plunge guys who are all jacked and ripped. I said, you know what? I kind of want to look like that. I want to be a cold plunge guy, but I'm the same way. I don't get in the pool when it's cold.
Nope.
You know, if it's 82, it's like, no, I'm good.
Turn
the hot tub on.
Yeah, that's just not for me. It just no. And that goes back to like, what are you emotionally attached to? And I was like, that shit sucked.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not trying to remember that.
So the idea and concept, do something that sucks every day.
Yeah.
Right. So I mean, from a food perspective, if you really want to do something, just fast for 10 hours, 12 hours.
Yeah.
You know,
or you really want to feel it. And this is a super interesting thing. And fasting. And again, any fasting that I've done in that regard has been military induced fasting, which isn't great, but the whole ketones thing and the idea of what happens to your body, like, so my whole thing with intermittent fasting on that day-to-day thing, that's just calorie restriction.
Yep.
That's all it is.
Yep.
You really want to get the effects. That's a 24, 48 hour thing. You need to prep for it. You need to have your electrolytes and your hydration so your blood sugar doesn't drop. And you need to be, initially when you start doing it, not like trying to go do your actual day-to-day thing. Like if you're going to fast on your Sunday.
Yeah.
Or like that you were just talking about, where you've made this day of, but there is benefit to that. The ketones get released, your blood sugar resets, all of that stuff is real. But that whole like, this is my window to eat. And it's like, well, it's not really that you're fasting. You just made it so you can't be a fat ass, but for more than 6 hours a day.
Yeah. But it kind of works. You don't feel like so big, right?
Exactly.
You can only punch so much in
you can
there.
only shove so much in there, right? Like that's all it's doing. But like, so yes, it's calorie restriction.
Effective.
Yeah, and it does do that because you're cutting your calories you can get in.
Yep.
You know.
So give us some examples of something that sucks. I know you kind of just talking about the concept, but what else? What could that look like for men? I mean, sometimes just working out hard. I mean, that kind of sucks. You know, if you really push yourself.
I mean, most people that love leg day are fucking sadists, right? Like, there's not people are like leg day, great. Nobody says that. So kick it up a notch.
Yeah.
You know, like, you don't want to cold plunge. Like, do some sprints.
Yeah.
Like I've read this statistic, and another internet statistic, no way to really prove it, but like after 90% of people never sprint again.
Yeah, 100%. I use that.
Yeah.
And I talk about that a lot because I still try to get my butt out and run and sprint a little bit with kiddos.
Yeah.
But you're absolutely right. And you think about it, there's no reason for them to, right, in their day-to-day life. And if they're not focused on fitness and they're not going to the ball field or doing it, it's absolutely right. It's like, man, I haven't run in 2 decades. I don't think I can anymore.
Yeah, exactly. And you don't use it, you lose it, right? So those things are good. I mean, what else sucks? Watch The View. I don't know. Like,
do something that sucks every day. I think we all got our own version, in our life. So cool. Let's talk about stress reduction and fun, right? I think a good thing overdone can be really detrimental to all the other categories that we talked about. But I think when it comes to making sure that we're the best version of ourselves, that we are the most, trying to think of the right word, the most mission ready, something of that nature, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's going to have to be some fun and some relaxation and some reward. And so the things that come to my mind immediately are like, obviously vacations that you're looking forward to and enjoying, whether it be, you and your boys or the family or your brothers or whatever it might be. Go ahead and get those planned for the year. When I used to, when I was working for Walgreens, right? I had 400 people working for me under me. It's like trying to like make their life not suck as much. You know, we would have them plan out their vacations for the entire year, like in a meeting. And it was just like the hope of looking forward to being able to do those things that got them through the suck that was their life and working for that corporation. You know what I mean? And so, and I still use that today. So like, I know on this date we are going to Aruba, and on this date we're going to Georgia, and on this date we're going to Alaska, or we haven't fully planned it yet, but like just having that out in the future, I think can give you a lot of hope to get through the grind of life, right? And the hard work that you're doing to build your business, to build your family, to develop the character from your kiddos and all that good stuff. So I think that would be one really good example. For me, you know, I have a float party every Friday. Did I tell you about the float party?
No.
During the summer, every Friday we have a float party. So I got these 2 amazing, expensive floats from Boat. I think they're really designed for people that, you know, go out on the river, the ocean, like they're super high quality and whatnot, comfortable Adirondack chairs. And every Friday night, you know, after the week, I come home, Emily and I jump in the chairs, the kids are playing in the pool, and we sit out there, we have our Coke Zeros, we, you know, relax, put on the music we light the fire. I look forward to that all week. Like that's my stress reliever, right? It's fun. I get to decompress. I get to tell her all my bullshit. You know, she tells me all her bullshit, and then we're good for the evening. So, but I know I've got that built into my structure every single Friday until the pool gets too cold. And
Then you don't do it.
then I'll do it. What else? Stress reduction and fun.
Oh man, what do you got? So,
What do you do for fun? And you work all the time, I feel like.
yeah.
What do you do for fun?
I don't know. Like, I mean, well, that's the other thing that that's another thing I'm kind of working through is I really like what I do. That's the hard part. Like, I really enjoy what I do. Like, all the things that I've built, all the businesses I built are built around things I like.
Yeah.
You know, like, you know, sell med kits and teach people to shoot guns. Well, things I'm good at, things I like, right? Like, you know, I see patients in my office the way that I want to see them. You know, I take my dog to work every day and I wear flip flops to my office that I run. Life. You know, like that works for me. So now to get that to the point of success, like I feel like I'm in that season of building because there's momentum behind it. So that's a hard thing. Things I like to do, like what I love to sail. Sailing is like is awesome. Here's my other thing with it, and this is probably more of a recovery thing than anything else. So many of the things that I associated with fun are associated with alcohol that I'm in a place where I'm redefining those things for myself.
Yeah.
So that is a hard place to go. Like I didn't listen to music for like 9 months after I got out of rehab because for me, music and alcohol could not be separated.
Go hand in hand.
They were just that. Like I didn't listen to the radio in my car, like nothing. It was just so that's kind of that balancing place for me where it's interesting.
Yeah.
So I guess so we go with that. Like I don't know, you know, but the things that I do, like the work, the stuff like this, I look forward to this. Like this is fun for me. You know, it's those pieces of it. So
yeah, 100% agree. And I think the problem that I see with a lot of guys and experience myself too is that you can take this category and really overdo it, the stress reduction and fun.
Yeah.
So it ends up being scrolling on your phone for hours and hours and hours. It ends up watching TLC, you know, or The View, whatever the guys are into these days, you know. Just relaxing. Hey, I'm not going to work out. I'm just gonna take it easy today. I'm going to sleep in, right? I'm going to doodle on my phone. I'm going to sit on the toilet for an hour. Gonna whatever, you know, and so anything overdone is not a good thing. But for me, I think just structuring things in that create that opportunity to kick back, relax, smile. Typically involves being around people. You know, I don't know. I actually don't like being alone. Yeah, it's kind of a weird thing. Most of the time, I don't like being alone. Yeah, and for whatever reason that is, I think because. I think mostly just being away from my family, so much doing the things I love. I'm a lot like you. Like, I love my business. I love every aspect of what I do in my business. You know, it's not work for me. I don't look at the clock. Yeah. Right. It's just if I'm looking at the clock, it's because I got to get to baseball practice. Or I got to get to football practice, or I've made a commitment to somebody that's important to me. Other than that, I don't look at the clock. I'll work 1,000 hours a week. Like I really don't care because it doesn't feel like work to me. But finding those opportunities to go do things with friends and family, is a huge, huge component for me. So anyways, that's kind of all I got, but it's really about building a plan, being intentional. A lot of guys who are high performing in one area really lack in others. I think that's what we see.
And yeah, absolutely. And well, that's even a psychological thing. Nobody tries to emphasize the shit they suck at. Like, I suck at golf, so I don't go play golf with people, right? Because I'm like, it's embarrassing because I'm terrible at it, right? So there's that. Like, you want to go do something? It's like, let's go shoot guns. I know I'm good at that. So you want to you highlight the things you do, but what in the construct of like psychology or therapy or whatever, right? We all have weaknesses, right? So even like you think the concept of body armor, right? Why do soldiers and cops wear body armor? Because they have weaknesses. They cover them up with body armor. But so we know that we have weaknesses, but if you work to strengthen those things or work around them or emphasize like that piece of you, like what do you need to do there, right? Like how do you need to add to that realm? Like you have your emotional, you have your physical, you have your spiritual, you have your financial tables in life, right? So like if you overcompensate with one, then what do people typically lose? Like if you watch it, like people dive into the financial, which is your business, you're going to lose the emotional and the spiritual probably, right? Maybe the physical, but maybe the physical, but something's going to give. So how do you bring that back? And if you know that part is suffering, how do you intentionally make a plan to add to it? Like, all right, I know I don't do pray, meditate, whatever. So I have to build that into my schedule. I know that if I don't build this block of time into my schedule, I'm not going to go to the gym. Like that is it. Because it's that plan. Is it going to be perfect? No. Now the other thing, probably the most important thing to this is like, when you fuck this up and do it where you don't do what you're supposed to do, don't throw the whole plan out the window. Yeah. Just be like, okay, well, I missed that day.
That didn't work.
Yeah, that didn't work. Start again. Because you're going to write this plan, and that's the other thing. Guys are really good at like, oh, that didn't work. I'm not doing it. Like, I'm not going to do that. I'm doing this. This is working for me. Well, it's really not. You're just not wanting to put in the extra work to do this because it's changing what's comfortable.
Yeah, and two things I think really help. If you go through this exercise, you make the plan, you identify your weaknesses, you put it together. Two things that have really helped me stay on the plan. One is when the alarm goes off, actually get up.
Yep.
Right? Because at some point we all realize that the earlier we get up, nobody's bothering us at 5 a.m. No phone calls come in. Maybe there's some emails, but if you're disciplined enough not to look at them, nothing's going to throw your plan off at 5. So get up. And then the second thing is just saying no.
Yeah.
Just having some boundaries. I'm leaving work at 4 o'clock. This important call comes in, or what they believe is an important call. Just tell them I'm not here. Tell them I'm not available. You know, and it took me a long time to learn that because, early on in my business, I'm like, I need all business.
Yeah.
I need every dollar to make sure that I survive. And now it's like, no, just tell them I'm not available.
Yeah.
I'm leaving. I'm not going to be late for, whatever that next plan is. And then the other thing is like so many people that you like and want to hang out with or whatever, they invite you to do things, right? Kids' birthday parties are a great example of this, right? And there's a million kids out there. And so they'll say, hey, can you do this? Or can you come to this event? Or can you help me do this? And it's no, I apologize. I got something already planned. And I legitimately do. I'm working out that afternoon, right? And so I can't come to the kid's birthday party because what am I likely to do there? I'm likely to sit out there with the boys, have a beer, eat cake, right? If I have enough beers, I'm going to eat some cake. And so just saying no isn't rude. You just have a plan already, right? You're just staying on course. So those are the two biggest things that actually help me get it done versus being disappointed in my plan. So, all right. Well, I think the big idea here is that self-care is important. Having a plan is important. Success in one area of your life does not justify failures in the rest of that. I think most guys intuitively know that. But most people do stay off balance. So if that's something that you need to correct, there's a lot of good material here. There's probably a million books you can read.
It is, but that's the thing, right? So I don't know why this has come up recently a lot, but okay. So balance. Talking about balance. Balance is hard work. People think that balance is like, oh, my life is balanced, it's restful. No, like rest is rest. Yeah. Being centered is centered. That shit's not like if balancing everything, you're working your ass off to do that. Stand on one foot and tell me how hard that is.
Yep.
You know, like it takes work to have balance because you have to work on the shit that you're not good at.
Yep. Yep. 100% agree. If you want to support yourself a little bit, make sure you get some good supplements. We got a full lineup here at T1RX. We also provide medical services here in the state of Florida. Anything from primary care to hormone replacement, as well as some more than novel therapies with methylene blue and whatnot. Not all people qualify, but definitely reach out to us.
Yeah, give us a call. We'll talk to you.
We'd love to help support. So until next time, thank you for watching the Dose Adjustment Podcast. We'll see you on the next episode.
The information provided in this podcast is for educational and informational purposes only, and it does not establish a physician-patient or pharmacist-patient relationship. The opinions expressed by the hosts and guests are their own and do not constitute medical advice. This content is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any medical condition. Always consult with a licensed healthcare provider in your area before making any changes to your personal healthcare regimen or acting on any medical information shared in this podcast.